First we go. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up. Yeah, there we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up, build 'em up. There we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down.
So are you guys aware of the current events as far as what's going on in the NFL right now? So let me ask you a question. Why would you say that Colin Kaepernick was kneeling? Because I'm going to ask each one of you.
So my understanding is he was kneeling in response to the police brutality that was going on in America. And because that was not being addressed on a large scale, he was just showing that America wasn't living up to its promises. And so as a sign of protest against what was happening, he kneeled.
I mean, I feel like it's the NFL, just trying to silence black people. You know what I'm saying? They'll make money off of you. They'll let you, go out, commit crimes, beat your wife, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? No problem. But as soon as you want to speak up against white people, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? You can go out there, make money for them, make money for yourself, all these endorsements. But you can't make a statement against white people. And that's all they've been trying to do is silence black voices. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like it's crazy that, they're kind of this pushing him out the league because he's, standing up for something that he believes in and something that needs to be, that awareness needs to be brought to when it's they try to act like it's a distraction, but he never was, late for meetings. There's a lot more that goes into football than, the national anthem.
Question. You like football?
It's cool. Not right now, though.
Okay, tell me why not right now?
Really, honestly, man, football is sports is, to me, sports is just another way to keep us in bondage, man. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a waste of time at times. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
I mean, with the NFL, I just feel like it's a bunch of rich niggas. Fuck the NFL. That's how I feel about that too. You feel me?
So you saying the majority of the league is what, rich niggas? That's how you say? All right. What about you, man?
They just got money, so they do whatever they want to do. They can kneel to the flag or whatever. I mean, I don't be into the news and stuff, so I was just out here trying to do my own grind, just trying to sweep these streets, trying to get these cities and these cameras off. I ain't even worried about the publicity because I know if I make it myself, a little line like that, like we all black people stick together, support more black businesses, and we just stay down, we all can have our own, you know what I'm saying, how they got their own organization, we can have our own little circle and have our own little money and have our own little cycle going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I watch football.
All right.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
All right, now, you watch football every Sunday, so you up to date with what's going on with the protesting, with what Colin Kaepernick did. He no longer has a job now. He was the one kneeling and all of that, right? Now, recently everybody took a knee, right? What is that about?
Me personally, what I think the whole message that Kaepernick was trying to get out there, it's been lost up, from what he started kneeling for to what everybody kneeling for now.
What was that? The initial thing Kaepernick was sitting or kneeling for?
Oh, because of how America treats the minority in the country. He was kneeling because of police brutality, to raise awareness for police brutality against minorities in America.
Bond is to me, the owner sit back and we just out there like pawns, you know what I'm saying? We get hurt, they making all the $1 million. We ain't getting paid, they don't care about you. But it took for one little situation, for people just to really see that.
For them to see the light.
You know what I'm saying? When it really been going on, but how the world is.
So why is it that our people don't see that? Why do we continue to send our little kids to Little League football? We send them in middle school, high school. We allow our kids to indulge in this stuff and we teach them it. Yeah. And then we wonder why now when it gets to the NFL, they have the oppressor has this control over us.
Right. A lot of times people, they do it off of, they think it's on the way out or tradition or just what they see. And nobody really in the communities like how you guys are and telling them, teaching them the truth or what.
So would you agree or disagree with the reasons why he's kneeling?
I
would agree that that's the reasons why he kneeling. Overall, he just, he was just expressing, his what you would call freedom of speech. I mean, it's how he felt. There's nothing wrong with expressing his opinion. It wasn't a direct contradiction or a threat to the Constitution as a whole or to our rights as American people or to the nation. It's just kind of showing him as an individual how he feels about the state of the nation right now.
Okay. And so what would you say is the state of the nation?
State of the nation's in a crisis right now. I think there's a respect crisis going on. There's an identity crisis, but ultimately there's a peace crisis. And I think with the ways the political parties are going and the way politics are going, even our president just loosely, blithely saying things and not really having enough girth to just really address the issues, but yet adding to layers to the issues, it's just causing this thing to kind of erupt further and further.
All right, so we know about the protests, the different people getting offended by the flag, the original protest of Colin Kaepernick kneeling, right? Give us a rundown of what's going on.
Well, I mean, me personally, I feel like where we are now, it seems like that the media and the NFL has kind of construed Kaepernick's original intent on the protest, which is to bring awareness to the misconduct of local law enforcement and police brutality against unarmed people of color. And that with now you have what's going on around the league with our celebrity in chief, aka President Trump. This fool, he called last week, I believe, he called out, the NFL players or whatever, called them SOBs or whatever, from when and wanted them to, every time he wanted the owners to tell the players that for every person that kneels, he needs to cut them or whatever. And the NFL community got outraged by that, particularly the owners. So now they're all coming together in the sense that they want to promote unity and solidarity or whatever as uniting against Trump. But at the same time, it still doesn't really mesh with the initial message that what Kaepernick was trying.
Okay, all right, now. Cool. So you said something interesting. You said a lot of other black people are talking down on them because they want to keep their jobs.
I think that's why, yeah.
So you say that like some of the so-called black figures or athletes, are they scary? Are they afraid of repercussions of standing up for their people?
I mean, everything's controlled by not saying everything's controlled by the white man, a lot of white people in white communities, but I feel like they're just scared that something's gonna happen to them. They see Colin Kaepernick after he stood up for what he believed in and started working throughout his community, that his career just went down. Not what he's doing is wrong, but his his name, his career just started falling further down.
So what we do is we teach our people, according to the Bible, who they are first and foremost, that they're the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And then we show them why the things that goes on in our community, why does it happen? All right? So watch this.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate.
So the Bible says, come out from among them. Who is the them? The them is the other nations. He said, come out from among them and be separate. So what Colin Kaepernick is doing is taking a stand against America and its rights, or not even its rights, it's what their policies, right? So Colin Kaepernick is doing a wonderful job, and we have a lot of black brothers that's going against him, right? How do you feel about some of the people that go against him?
I think that's crazy, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I understand you got people like Des Bryant talking about he got a family to feed and this and that, but you done made millions. You know what I'm saying? You signed to Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You got money. Taking a stand ain't gonna affect you being able to feed your family. You know what I'm saying? Marshawn Lynch sitting down. You know what I'm saying? He got a family to feed, but he's sitting down. It's bigger than what the shallow stuff that even our black people try to reduce it to. Like if you look back at the times when Muhammad Ali was boycotting the war because of his religion, and other black athletes were standing with him. They wasn't thinking about, oh, well, I got this to do and I got that to do. I'm thinking about myself. They was thinking about the race as a whole. And I think black athletes started to become brainwashed and whitewashed. You know what I'm saying? Thinking the white man got me thinking this. Oh, I don't want to ruin my image with the white man because then my career might be over. Examples, Ray Lewis, Michael Vick, people like that. It's just crazy that black athletes are letting white people whitewash their brains.
Well, with the stance he's taken, he's pretty much tired of the injustice that's going on with the so-called blacks and Hispanics in America, right? So with that, What do you think we as a people should do to back him up? Because he's putting his career on the line for us as a people. What should we do to back him up?
I feel like we just need to just really come together and just, be behind him since he's behind us at the same time, and just, just keep pushing forward.
Okay, now with the NFL, should we support that?
Yeah, because at the same time, it's the NFL is just separate organizations. You can't really depict one person that the NFL still does a lot of good, even though this situation might be bad. There's still a lot of things that they do for the community that.
Okay, so I'm actually glad that you pointed out about the president, because obviously Colin Kaepernick, he's been kneeling since last year.
Absolutely.
And then now the NFL as a whole, they're recently kneeling because of the comments that Trump made. Now here's the thing: would you say that the people that are kneeling now, as it pertains to Donald Trump, what he said, are they kneeling for the same reasons as Kaepernick, or are they kneeling for different reasons?
Yeah, I actually thought about that. It doesn't look like that they're kneeling in solidarity with Kaepernick's cause. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's a retaliation from what Trump said. Pretty much Trump getting on, making all those kind of comments about the stance that was being taken. They're trying to show that he can't really dictate, their stance or them kneeling, or so. I don't believe it's in the same vein as Colin Kaepernick kneeling against police brutality.
Why can't we start our own NFL, have our own teams? That way we all know we're supporting the same thing. We know this is something for us. We can have our own owners, our own coaches, our own players, set our own terms. Why can't we as a people do that?
There's nothing that says like as a people that we can't. It's just a means of doing it. Is the obstacle.
What not?
Is football the only way out for us?
Nah, not even close, man. How many black owners are there?
Not a lot. I'm sure me and you know that. So what things do we need to do as far as our communities, as far as building up, teaching our kids sports and stuff like that? What do we need to do to get out of that?
First and foremost, man, we got to really be the change. And to be the change, we got to come together like you guys are and, get in the streets and pass out literature and, help each other, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now, here's a question. Being that the large majority of the NFL, 70, 80%, is African-American, and that it's obviously there is police brutality, injustices among our people, what would you say to the so-called African-Americans that didn't even take the time to kneel for the causes that Colin Kaepernick knelt for, but they felt it necessary to kneel for what Trump said? Because you mentioned that they're kneeling for two different reasons. You understand what I'm asking? Yeah. What would you say?
Yeah. Good question.
Because here we all are the same people. Right. So if we have one of our brothers that's being harassed and shot down and killed in the street, which every time you turn on the TV, it's predominantly us. Very rare did you see a so-called white or so-called Arab or so-called Chinese man that's having to be subjected to that police brutality. So let's say you and I are both a part of the NFL. You decide to kneel because of the injustice of our people. I say, well, I don't want to do that. But then I'll kneel because of what Trump said. Do you think that we should I, being that we are the same people, should I be kneeling for the same cause?
Well, ultimately, it goes back to this. If we're going to be unified, we have to be unified for the same thing. I think the smart thing, or the cognitive thing, I'll use that word, to have done in the beginning, was just to be able to ask him as a black man or as a black woman, hey, Kaepernick, why are you kneeling? And then hear his reason for the end. And if you're truly going to join in with the cause, join in then. But you don't join in because now your dislike for President Trump is now causing you to take a stand, quote unquote, because really it's not a stand. It's just a posture. And I think that's what we've got a lot going on right now, is a lot of people in different postures. Nobody's really taking a stand for what they really believe in. And because we're not really taking a stand, we're not really mobilizing any type of causes. I think we can easily spend a lot of time complaining about something that we ourselves aren't really invested in trying to change.
I would say one of the solutions would be to cause awareness to situation, but apparently that's not working. Like,
all right, here's another question I got, right? You said you watch the football every Sunday, right? Now, football is showing us, because they didn't give Colin a job because what he was doing, trying to bring light to our situation. You watch football every Sunday. Now, football is showing us they don't care about our situation. What should you do?
I mean, I understand like people boycotting like NFL and stuff, but I don't think that's gonna make a difference. You know what I mean? As far as like it raises awareness. You know what I mean? People see it for what it is. They gonna come up with their own opinion about it, but boycotting it, like, that's not. I don't see that really affecting like the total outcome. You know what I mean? Like, just because somebody say, I'm gonna stop watching the NFL because, you know what I mean, of the situation that's going on, like, that's that one person versus like millions of fans, you know what I mean? And not to say that is right, but I just don't see, like, by me stopping to watch the NFL, by me stopping watching football, like, what is that gonna do? Like,
Okay, I got a question for both of y'all then. Why do you guys feel that we have to actually protest to get things accomplished?
Because we're being mistreated in this country, plain and simple. I mean, people think that when Kaepernick kneeled during the anthem, he think he's protesting against the anthem and the flag and the military. It's not about that. What he's protesting is that if the flag, quote unquote, is supposed to be what it says it represents, which is equality and freedom for everybody, right? Then everybody should be treated that way. But at the same time, in various communities, in the black communities in particular, we're not being treated the same as other communities, like, you know, white people or whatever, the majority.
Okay. You feel the same way?
I feel like this. When we were in elementary school and we had a problem with a teacher or we had a problem with a student, we can always walk into our counselor office, let the counselor know, walk into the principal office, let the principal know, and they would sit down with each parent and get this resolution to the problem, right? Well, in the world today, as black people, as we continue to be mistreated and there's police brutality against everybody, who do we go to and talk to and try to figure this thing out? That goes back to me saying there's no common ground to come together as people if we continue to pull apart, divide, and attack. We don't have nowhere to go. Okay? So we got to protest. Okay? Protest, get out on the street, tear everything up to get somebody to listen to you just because nobody gives you a office to walk into and just say, hey, we feel like this.
So, being that the large majority of the NFL would be so-called African American, how would you feel if all of the African Americans decide to separate from the National Football League and decide to have their own thing?
That would be more effective, I think, because I think one of the greatest ways to kind of really make a statement, especially in the NFL, is to hit them in the pocket, you know?
Would you believe me if I told you that that exact same concept is actually biblical?
What?
As far as the separation.
Separation? Okay, yeah.
I'm going to show you. Come on this out. Come stand right here. Stand right there. All right. That way you can.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17.
I asked that question specifically for the purposes of, because a lot of times when you see what we should do as the Bible as it pertains to African Americans, different races of people, when you read earlier on in the Old Testament, it said that God separated everybody. Now, watch this. Watch what it says.
2 Corinthians 6, verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate.
Now, remember, I asked you about would it be more profitable for us to separate and do our own thing? You said yes. Now, I want to ask, now, being that the scripture says that to separate, do our own thing, how do you think that would actually help in this particular situation? It says come out from among them and be separate. How could we benefit from following that one scripture?
It probably would benefit for the cause of Kaepernick, for the greater good of unifying a people. It probably wouldn't do the best for unifying America, but it would send the statement that needs to be sent that we are taking a stance against this injustice, you know, and So for that reason, yeah, separating would make a louder statement than just kneeling.
All right, let me show you something of what the scriptures say about us as a people. Lamentations 4, verse 17. Because for we as a people, we're always looking for other people to stand up for us, other people to fight for us. All right, check this out.
Lamentation chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help.
So the things that the NFL do, right? The things that they do for the community, so-called, is vain. Everything that they do for us is vain. It's for a show to put on during the off-season times, like TV time, to show that they're doing something, right? It's vain.
And what's the original reason?
Because of the police brutality and what's going on, just us being oppressed. That's it, really.
So with all that stuff going on, do you think that the black man or the Hispanic man in America, do you think we should be standing and making reverence to the anthem and to the flag?
No, it don't apply to us.
Okay. Why so?
Because really, I say don't apply to us because what they're saying is not for us. It's like, it's not. It's their flag, really, man. It's not our flag, basically.
Well, you got to understand the situations that were going on in the Bible are very much similar to what's going on today.
I know.
But it depends on if you're talking about the protesting and things that were going on when Jesus was walking the earth and letting the people know I am Christ, the Son of God, and nobody wanted to believe him, and they were protesting then too. So you got to understand where are you going with it?
Okay, that's why you said 100%. So I'm gonna show you in the Bible, because what's the point of the protest? You're actually trying to get someone else to understand you. Right. You're trying to get someone else
to bring awareness of a certain situation or problem in the community.
Okay, let me get Lamentations 4:17. I'm about to show you this exact situation in the scriptures.
Lamentation chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help.
So the scriptures is telling you, as for the Israelites today in the earth are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? We're still in this same situation. He's gonna read it again from the top. Listen.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
So we out here protesting, hoping that someone will hear our plea. Hoping that someone will recognize our situation, hoping that someone will treat us fairly, right? Hold on, we're gonna finish it, then we'll
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So we're here. We've been protesting for essentially since we've been out of slavery, for to be treated fairly, to be recognized by the rules that they say this place is set upon, which what you said should be our common ground. But those aren't our common ground because you were a slave when they wrote the rules, or your forefathers were slaves when they wrote the rules. So the rules didn't apply to you from the beginning.
When are we going to move on from slavery and come back to today?
Okay, so.
And you said you believe in the Bible. I believe
correct.
In the Bible 100%. And what the Bible teaches me is, why are we pleading out and crying to man when man is just of this world? We need to cry out and plead to a higher power. And see, I cry out and plead to God. When I get down, I pray to him. And guess what? I don't really experience racism the way everybody else do. When I see it, I can call it and I see it. But it doesn't make me feel the same way because I know I have the love of God on my side. So it's a different experience for everybody. Yeah, we can say we're in slavery and we crying out. Cry out to God. Cry out to Jesus. He the one who bared the cross. The white man, they don't care.
You're right in that, Rashawn. And guess what? You know what the love of God is? The love of God is actually keeping his commandments, which was, according to what you said, a set of rules that would actually put us all on a level playing ground, especially more than anybody, the Israelites.
All right, this concludes another episode of Cuts from the Street. And like we said before, we want to commend the actions that Kaepernick is taking because he sees there's something wrong with what's going on with us in this country, right? We're supposed to be all equal in this country. Why are we the only ones getting shot down? And when we do get shot down, why there's no justice for us. Now we came out here to, ask our people, see where their thoughts were, see if they even care about the things that our people are going through. Okay?
I want to applaud the brother because, you got to take into consideration the brother makes, multi-millions of dollars.
Right.
But he was willing to put that on the line for what he believed in.
Right.
Now, the crazy part about it is you got brothers and sisters that don't even play in the NFL. They can't even bring it upon themselves to stop watching.
Right.
But this man was able to put his entire career on the line just to simply say, you know what? I don't appreciate the injustices of my people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a stand. And then here's another crazy part. He didn't violently protest. He didn't speak out. All he did was took a knee or sit down for the national anthem. And it caused so much of an uproar. Like, it's crazy. It shows you the mind of the other nations of people and what they think as it pertains to our injustices.
And the crazy thing is, it's the third stanza, right? The third verse.
Right. Which they took out.
Which they didn't take it out. They just don't sing it. But they know what it is. It says what? Pretty much, these Negroes could try to run if they want to. Y'all ain't getting away. Yeah. But our people don't even come into their mind like, hey, what the brother's doing is an honorable thing for us as a people. Mm-hmm. For us to back him up, how about we boycott or stop watching this NFL? Which,
and you know what the proof of that is? The proof of that is you have other NFL players that see what Kaepernick said, like Mike Vick, and they actually speak out against Kaepernick for what he believed in. Correct. Then now all of a sudden, because Trump has something to say, now everybody in the NFL wants to kneel. But not about what Kaepernick kneel for,
right?
But what about because now Trump is talking trash about football?
Right. That's the thing. Because Trump said something, they took a knee, but it's not the same stance as Kaepernick was taking.
You know what's even wilder about that?
Because
the NFL is a Greekish custom. So you're participating in a custom that has nothing to do with you in the first place.
Right.
We were the original gladiators. We were the ones that had to fight. So now what they do is they take us, they check in your body, just like how they would do a slave, just like on the auction block. Mm-hmm. They got you going through all this rigorous training, all this nonsense for you to perform for them. And then when you decide that you want to, because they have a platform. A lot of people look to these people for advice or whatever the case may be. A lot of their brothers, they donated things like that. Yeah. But we look to these people, and this one brother say, well, listen, I believe that what's happening to us is unjustified. Right. So I'm gonna silently take a knee, and it's causing so much of an uproar. And our people can't even bring themselves to say, well, no. Because they'll march and they'll protest in the street and say, well, yeah, we mad about Trayvon, we mad about this, we mad about this. Mm-hmm. But you just can't change the channel for 3 hours.
Our people, we're all, it's all, the same thing go back to the Most High. It's all lip service. Right. We say we love God. It's all lip service. We mad about our situation, but it's all lip service. We don't do no action. With that, it's been another one. Stay tuned for more. All right.
Oh, we got
like,
more coming.
Comment, subscribe, share this. All right. Shalom, Messiah in Christ bless.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.